two seniors, members of Bull Cliff Seniors, Stan Wheatley and Roy Hetherington, are relating true stories from their youth. These stories are as presented to the students of Linkages, a program assigned to have seniors and students from St. Michael's School connect for better understanding of each other. They share stories and play games.
My name is Roy Hetherington, and I'm a member of Bull Cliff Seniors for 12 years. I'm 84 years old. My story involves some history of a very treacherous area of the west coast of Canada, between Vancouver Island and the mainland of British Columbia. It's called the Seymour Narrows, and prior to 1958, when it was blown up, it housed Ripple Rock, and my adventure on the ship I was working on as a crew member. This is the area that we're going to talk about, between Vancouver Island and the mainland, and the area is right in between there by Campbell River. Okay? And I'm going to talk about the taming of the rock. For years I've been told stories of how Seymour Narrows, just north of Campbell River, was the most treacherous area for ocean navigation in North America. My dad used to tell me that it wasn't uncommon to see gaping whirlpools suddenly appear and swallow up the boat and all. So naturally I felt great swarms of butterflies that take a flight in my stomach as we rounded the corner at Race Point in our modest 15-foot whaler. Without warning, the idle water beneath us changed in a fast-moving torrent. The tidal flow began bullying the boat as we approached the Seymour Narrows. The continuous pitch of the outboard was now being interrupted as the propeller, captivated in the frequent air pockets created by the strong currents sideways, up and down, in a random chaos. The ocean played with us much like a kitten with a string. Now that's a story from a young fella that had some experience with Ripple Rock. After years of debating, lobbying petitions, the Canadian government finally agreed to do something. Something had to be done to make Seymour Narrows safe for navigation. It was decided through a means of explosives that the peaks of the Ripple Rock would be lowered enough so that any vessel, no matter the size, could pass over safely. But this news was not met with cheers and ovations by everyone. There were still those who had visions of a rail bridge stretching from the Maud Island to Vancouver Island, with Ripple Rock acting as a natural foundation for the middle support. Their protests were unheard, and in 1943 a huge barge with drilling rigs was brought in and secured over Ripple Rock with several anchors. The idea was to drill many holes in both peaks and pack them full of explosives, but the resilient rock would not relent easily. Strong currents proved too much for the anchor cables to withstand. Under the immense tension created by the powerful flow, the first cable snapped less than an hour after the operation began. Subsequent cables snapping occurred on the average of 48 hours, and the project was eventually abandoned. Another attempt was made by the barge in 1945. This time the barge was secured to both shores with heavy overhead cables. Again, the turbulent tides around Ripple Rock underestimated, and the attempt failed. Now here's a picture of Ripple Rock, showing the area where the rocks were, and the area that the boats could travel through. It was a small area between the island and the mainland, and it's the only area for large boats could go through. And these rocks were always in the road with that swift current there.